Grab your crock pot. Stick that baby right on in there. All right, y'all, we've got here today some broccoli florets. You want to make sure I'm doubling up the recipe today. So this is 8 cups of some broccoli. And I greased up my little crock pot real good today. We're using 1 can of some cream of bacon soup. Now I know that this seems to be a hard thing to find, but y'all, I just dig inside the Publix and make sure I can find it. And so we're gonna scoop all the goodness out, and it is in alphabetical order at my Publix, so sometimes it's behind like one of those little hanging, dangling things where they're trying to sell like ping pong balls for some reason, I don't know. But I'm also adding a cream of onion soup. This recipe normally does have onions in it, but with it being made for an entire family today, then I don't think that everybody's gonna like the onion. So we're just gonna add that onion flavor with the cream of onion soup. So we got 2 cans of that soup. Now we're gonna come in with 2 packets of some shredded mild cheddar. Just gonna dump it all in. And before I start with the next ingredient, y'all, I'm gonna have to mix this. So we're just gonna give this a good mix because I don't want my struggles to be delayed with this next ingredient. All right, so I think this is as good a mix as I can get it for right now, but we are gonna get us some Duke's mayo, and we're gonna need 2 cups of this. So I'm just gonna use this spoon so I don't dirty up another spoon. We're gonna get all this out there. This might be just under 2 cups, but y'all, it's gonna be good no matter what. You can also add maybe a little bit of sour cream or maybe some Greek yogurt if you don't like the mayo, but we just need it to be nice and creamy. And 4 beaten eggs, we're just gonna pour that right on in. And then for an extra good measure, a little Montreal steak seasoning. Y'all, this seasoning I put in just about everything. Sometimes the kids say it's spicy, but you know what? It's just the flavor. So now let's give this a good big mix, and then make sure that the mayo is all over, those eggs are all over, and then that seasoning definitely is all over. All right, so I think this is pretty good and mixed up, but y'all, this recipe ain't quite done yet. So what we are gonna do is let me get this bad boy flattened on out. Okay, what we are gonna do is grab our crock pot lid. We're gonna set this baby. It's gonna be on high for about 2 to 3 hours, but in about an hour, I'm gonna give it a nice mix. And then y'all, we're gonna crush up some Ritz, make a crust, and y'all, broccoli casserole coming on up. All right, y'all, it's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I did mix it up one time in between, so it got nice and juicy. All right, so now here's the tricky part, y'all. What we gonna do, we got some Ritz crackers. You're gonna want a full sleeve. Mine happens to just be like half sleeves. And we're just gonna, let me do one at a time. Crumble all of this up. And that way, we can sprinkle it on top of this casserole to make a crust. All right, it took just a little bit of 3 of these, so however much that is, but I think 1 full roll would be good, okay? Now we are doing half a stick of butter, and y'all, we're just gonna kind of place these in here, trying evenly as well as we can, spread them on out. And then y'all, we're not putting that lid on because we want this to be a crust. Grab your oven mitts, grab your crock pot. Got your oven set at 350. Stick that baby right on in there for another 20 minutes. All right, y'all, 20 minutes. And let's take a look at that beautiful broccoli casserole.